Hey, thank you for clicking on. Today we're going to have a good look at my latest haul. I've been around the car boot sales, buying and selling antiques and collectibles for bargain prices that I hope to flip for a profit. Purpose of the video today is to share with you what I've bought, what I've paid, what I'm hoping to sell it for. It may give you some inspiration if you're selling on eBay or things to buy, and just a bit of entertainment, and hopefully you learn a little bit just like I do every day. So, shall we get started in today's haul? I'm going to start off with one of my favourite finds. It's not the most expensive, but I absolutely adore them. We have a pair of picture frames, photograph frames, whatever you want to call them. Now, personally, I would rip out these terrible pictures inside them, but I absolutely adore the frames. Look at the work on them. They are wood. Now, the 20th century, they're probably the second half of the 20th century. However, they're absolutely gorgeous. Now, both frames have got a little damage. This one, just a little bit, but there, and very similar on the other. A little bit, but there. They haven't gone all the way through, huh? Just the top bits come off. Really, really lovely things. They hang on a diagonal like that, so that's how they'd hang. They're on a little cord. But how pretty are they for vintage wood picture frames? Now, they were £3 each or two for a fiver. But somebody would buy them for the pictures inside. But me, I love the frames. Imagine putting some family photographs in those really nice vintage frames. Do I care about a little bit of damage on the petals of the bows? Not at all. Absolutely love the vintage look. Absolutely love the fact they're nice wood frames with this raised up flower. These flowers here all raised up. Absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I see these at £45. No problem at all for the pair. So that's a fiver into £45. Now, if you're watching from overseas and you want to know what that is in dollars, the equivalent for £10 sterling is about $12 at the moment, give or take a little bit round there. Next, we're going to have a look at a bit of glass. Now, I purchased this. Now, this is pure Art Deco, but it's got something special about it. Now, it's known as a rocket vase, probably because of the shape with the three legs. There's so many different varieties. You got them with a flat base. You got them with the bottom coming down just to the floor with the legs sticking out. There's a huge variety. Anyway, this one happens to be uranium. And I'm going to show you what it looks like under black light on a photograph, of course. So here's the vase. I've photographed them up ready for listing. A couple of different angle shots, and there we have it under black light. Absolutely stunning. Look at it glow. And that is uranium glass, and that there's a picture of the light I use. If anybody's interested, it's only 6 inches by about 3.5, 4 inches, and you can get them on eBay, Amazon, wherever you like. And they just put out black light, and that's all I do. I plug one of them in and take my photographs. Dealer wanted £3 for it, and I see that comfortably £30 to £35. If it wasn't uranium, it'd be £20. The fact it's uranium, it knocks it up that much more. That's a £30, £35 vase of anybody's money. It took me 10 to 1. You know, if I was to sell that for £30, $36, that's a fabulous little find for £3. Now, I'm always trying to buy things that can be used. And I have been doing a range of vintage car magazines, or manuals, sorry, tractor manuals, things like that. Things that people can use if they're into classic and vintage cars. Now, this one is the Moris Minor, and it's an original workshop catalogue. And it literally covers everything on servicing and repairing the Moris Minor from, I think it covers from the 1977 Moris onwards, because this book was first printed in 1980. It's a 1988 version, but it's still full of the information people need to repair the cars. Now, I'll find out exactly what years this covers when I do the listing, but these, they always come in for £1 and £2 at car boot sales from, it's generally old men who's selling all their tools up and things, and you find a couple of bucks like this in the boxes, £1 to £2. I just sold one on a tractor for 35. So vintage car manuals, things like that, they do sell. Granted, not for fortunes, but they sell. And talking about the cars, I actually worked 2 car boot sales yesterday, and I went from the second car boot sale over to Barry Island, and they had a vintage car show. And my wife had taken a couple of photographs of some of the cars there. Now, she hadn't done many photographs, only a half dozen or so. This Mini was restored to better than factory settings. I think he had taken every nut and bolt off it and chromed every piece. It was mint. Beautiful car. This was a full set. They had the beach buggy. Unfortunately, she didn't get a photograph of the beach buggy, but she loved the colour pattern. Lots and lots of VW campers down there. Tons. As you can see, what a beautiful day was down the beach. Another VW camper there. There's one done up like an old police van. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Look how low that is. And that was my favourite of the day. When I got down there, I saw the Plymouth. Absolutely stunning, beautifully restored, and I would have loved to have had that car. However, if people like vintage cars and they want to do the work on them, they got to get the instructions from somewhere. I even buy the old Haynes manuals from the 70s and 80s. They don't sell for fortunes, 10 or 20 pound, but when you pick them up for 50p in a pound, they're worth buying. Now, in one of my last videos, I bought a load of Swarovski crystal, Austrian crystal, and I was talking to you about the Swan I had. Now, I picked this up last week for 50p, and you'll see little crystal animals like this all the time for 50p. Right? But there's a mark you got to look for to know if this by Swarovski, they're good money. So here's my listing photographs for the Swan. Absolutely beautiful thing. And there is the Swarovski crystal mark. Oh, I'm hoping you can see that. This is the early discontinued mark, so it's a big square with a block stamp S with Swarovski wrote underneath or etched underneath. The more modern mark is a swan. The block stamp mark pulls more money if you're selling Swarovski, but if you're picking up crystal animals and they've either got a swan or the block stamp S, then they're worth buying, especially if they're 50p and a pound. Right, darling? Come here. Say hello. Say hello, babes. That's Snowball. Hey, what are you doing? Before I move on, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoy the videos. And all my stock is on antiquesarena.com. You don't find me on eBay. I'm not there. Anyway, moving on. These are fabulous. I had 2 cast iron money banks. Now, really nice. They got these raised lions here. 1953 for the Queen's coronation. ER for Elizabeth. And they're a money box. You put the money in there at the front of the throne. And then you'd have to open it up underneath to take the money out. They are registered, designed, applied for, and they are by Harper. Now, this is going to give you an eye-opener because I paid £2 each for these, and the prices are everywhere. So, we're going to start off here. If you have a look here, just on Google alone, £50 for one, 120, 120, and 44.99. Just giving you an example there. Come over to eBay, and these are sold prices on eBay, not asking prices. Highest one is sold for £60, then 32, and then £5.50. Doesn't that just show you how crazy eBay is that one can sell for £5.50 and another can sell for £60? That just sums up eBay in a nutshell. However, £2 each, they'll probably go for £40, £50 each on my website, and they'll sit there until I get a collector to come and buy them. But fabulous, £2 each. Okay, so let's move on. This I purchased. Now, a lot of you can't buy these, so if you're watching my video for eBay inspiration, be careful when you're buying trench art. eBay don't allow trench art shells that haven't been altered. That last bit is very important. You can't just put a shell like this on. Now, this is an old military shell, dated 1917, so this is First World War. A First World War artillery shell, or casing. And, well, what can I say? I paid £2 for that. There's £3.50 to £5 of scrap value in the brass alone. However, it'll sell out on my website for about 20 quid, £25, £20. but you couldn't put that on eBay because they would remove it. One of the terms and conditions of selling trench art and military items on eBay is they have to be drastically altered to be classed as artwork. Whereas I'm selling this as a collectible from the First World War, on eBay, it has to be sold as artwork. This could not be sold. You tell me, there's no way somebody could turn that back into an active shell. I just don't get it. But it's just a brass vase now, if you ask me. But on eBay, you can't sell them. So be very, very careful. But yeah, let's see size. Well, it's got the, see that little arrow over there? That is the military broad arrow. If you find that on anything, paper, instruments, medical, metalware, pictures, you name it, anything, that means it's military or government owned. I picked up a nice little walking cane. I haven't tested the top yet, can't find the hallmark. So it could be silver, it could be silver plate, but it's lost 2 pins through wobbles. It's got a pin there and a pin on the other side, but the 2 pins, but they're like one. Where is it? Yeah. There's 2 holes there. You probably can't see them. 2 tiny holes where it's lost 2 pins. So I got to put 2 pins in it to hold it secure. And then I got myself potentially a nice silver tipped walking cane. A nice look on there. And that came in for £1. The gentleman, I picked up a vesta case. Just so you know, with the same seller. Picked up the vesta case. Beautiful vesta case. Now, a vesta case is basically a matchbox. So you'd open him up, you'd store your matches inside, and there's your striker. You'd strike them along the base. You take your match out, strike it, and light your cigarette, wherever you want to light your pipe. Anyway, this one was particularly nice because it's got an enamel crest for Aberystwyth. Even though there is a little bit of damage down there in the corner on the enamel. It's not lost there, it's just a few cracks in the enamel. But it's a nice little vesta case for Aberystwyth. Anyway, I picked this up on the stall and I said, how much is your vesta case? And he said 50. And I thought he said £50. And I go, I ain't paying that. Anyway, I didn't put it back down because I didn't know if he meant £50 or 50 pence. Then I picked up this cane and I said, well, how much do you want for these two together then? And he said, okay, well, how about £1.50? So he meant 50p for that and £1 for that. That'll go for about £25. That'll go for about £20, £25. So we're talking 50 quid for the pair. It's not bad for £1.50, is it? Now, I had a few comments the other day. Some people commenting there's no way you find stuff like this at car boot sales. So I'm going to do a specific video sharing some of my best finds from car boot sale coming up. And I'm going to ask people in that video, not this one, in that video, to share some of their best finds and the cheapest finds. And then hopefully people, when they read the comments, they'll see just the type of stuff you can buy at car boot sales. They are treasure troves. It's absolutely wonderful, good fun. If you'll have a treasure hunt in the morning, you won't find it any better. Okay, this next piece, I actually paid a bit of money in comparison to the others. This one cost me £10, so $12. And we have a tube line decorated jug by Lorna Baily. Lorna Baily, there you go. She's been going since the 90s, I believe. In fact, I'm going to do a video just on Lorna Baily and show some of the varieties and stuff they have. What's she done? But this, I think, is an early one because where normally Lorna Baily is signed, this is actually raised up in almost like braille. You can read the writing is that high. So we are a large jug by Lorna Baily. Do I know what it's worth? I haven't got a foggiest idea yet. I haven't looked it up. Now, if it was a standard limited edition Lorna Baily, I'd say probably £40, £50. I've never had one this early with the raised up writing. So we're going to look that one up. If you want to know what that one's worth, you'll have to pop over to the website to have a look at that one because I'm going to have to do my research later on when I list that one. Now, I purchased this. I don't know why they've dismantled it. There's the cap light. They've taken the wiring off the battery, so I'd have to feed it back through the hole and connect it back into the battery, which isn't the end of the world. Now, this is for all intents and purposes, a coal miner's mining lamp. Let me see if it gives a date on here. Oldham Type T. So it's an Oldham Type T. And it's for use with the cap lamp, but does it give a date? Okay, so I've come across to the Collecting Science Museum Group.org.uk, and according to this, the Denton cap lamp was made in 1979. Thought it'd have been earlier than that. Lamp Oldham Type T, battery case, Type G, cap lamp includes identification number, Oldham and Son. Yeah, so 1970s. If anybody does have an interest in coal mining and miners' lamps, I've done a really comprehensive video, the history of coal mining and miners' lamps. I'll put the link for that in the description. Fabulous video, and it's quite shocking to see how they used to use children underground and how they introduced the safety lamps to stop explosions and to save lives. Really interesting video. Check that one out. I'll put that in the description for you. Moving on, we have a piece of Italian mid-century pottery. Now, it's a small jug. I would have loved a big one. But look at that beautiful, it's almost 1950s Picasso type in it. Really in-your-face design. I believe it's by Fratelli, FF, and it's Italy 6421. 6421 will be the shape number. But I would think that that's probably a Fratelli piece in good condition. It cost me 50p. Jug like that with that type of decoration, hand painted mid-century, it's going to be 10 or 15 pounds. Now, it doesn't sound a lot of money, but if you're paying 50p for a collectible 1950s pottery piece from Italy, you're doing all right. You're still making a lot of profit on the item. Now, this piece came to me from another dealer and come and saw me before the car boot sale even opened up. So thank you very much, Ian. And he offered me this. Now, this is a piece of Waterford. So we have a Waterford crystal picture frame. Now, it should be etched on the base. There it is. It's an etched mark. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it up. There. Can you see that on the base? It says Waterford. However, there is something to look for. You can't see it. It is etched Marquis. But it also says Marquis Waterford. Now that is telling me that this is not the Irish Waterford. This Marquis is where it was started being done abroad. So it is later and it is a lot less desirable than the Irish Waterford. Still bears the brand Waterford, but if you can get the Irish Waterford with the sort of seahorse mark, or if it says Waterford Island, the price is 4, 5, 10 times the price. Marquis Waterford is the imported Waterford. He was kind enough to give me this for £3, and it's probably a £10 or £15 picture frame, and it will sell because of the name Waterford, but it's not the same as the Irish Waterford. So if you're buying that, always take that into consideration when you're paying your price. If that had been Irish Waterford, I'd have been asking 25 for it. Being Marquis, I'm asking probably 15. So remember that little tip there. Do you know what it is? If you know what it is, put it in the comments. Let's see how clever you are. A lot of you will know. Anyway, this is a pincushion. Little sewing accessory, if you like, a little pincushion. It's probably 1950s and it was produced in Japan. So we have a late Art Deco. You can tell that by the shape of the bird and everything. Japanese porcelain pincushion. Now, these are novelty pincushions, but pincushions in general sell for a lot of money. Now, you can have everything from a little silver plate shoe all the way up. And I'm going to share with you some examples and some prices. Now, I'm going to show you one page on eBay. I've just searched pincushion and I've gone highest price. These are sold items. These are not asking prices, sold items to give you an idea. Have a look at this. You'll be quite shocked. Okay, so as I've said, pincushion and highest priced. £562 for a jointed bay. These are half dolls, the pin cushions, half dolls. I see half dolls all the time, and I do buy them and I do sell them. In fact, a lot of people don't realize the top half of the doll what it's for. Now, silver. They come in all different shapes, sizes, everything. These are only an inch or two, so they're really small. But you have one there, a little cow or bull, 1906. A swan, £365 for 1890. There's another half dollar. You'll find plenty there. There's a rat with Hitler's head on it. You need to see that before. Uh, there's a sterling silver shoe, to give you an example, but they come in pewter and silver plate, and they're worth buying because even the silver plate one could be 10, 15, £20. Same for pewter. Solid silver duck there, bird. Another half doll. Look at that lion. That is magnificent. Oh, it's a poodle. I thought it was a lion. Either way, beautiful thing. More dolls. Look at that one. His belly's the pincushion in that. I've never seen one of those. Quite a unique novel. Novelty pincushions, Paul Good money. It's a little ostrich egg, is it? Or enamel egg pincushion. Some birds. Look at that. Crazy money. These are sold prices as well, might I add. See, a lot of those half dolls, they sell. People don't realize it, those German porcelain half dolls, but they sell. A little piggy and the frog. Either way, it gives you an idea. Pin cushions are not something to avoid. And novelty sells. Look at that, there's a couple of shells there, and they've been decorated and stuffed with the pouches to take the pins. And £84 for 3 shells. I love the frog. He's super cool. What else we got? Oh, look at that turtle. My wife would love the turtle because she's mad on turtles. Look at that. The scissors form the beak of the bird and go straight through his head. How cool is that? I just love novelty items in general. That's just one page of 9 pages. I'm not going to show you them all. I rate this at about 15 to £20 as a novelty pin cushion. It's a bit of fun. It is that simple. It is a bit of fun. Art Deco, and people collect pin cushions, and they want all different types. And people collect the Japanese porcelain ones because you can get them from the 30s to the 50s. It could be a 30s piece, could be a 50s piece. I'm not an expert on them. I'm just a general dealer that I like to share my passion with you. If I can share any tips and any hints to say thank you for watching, then I will. But I'm just sharing my passion as I go along, finding things I love. I love the treasure hunt. But yeah, 50p, let's say £15, £20. Nothing wrong with that. So now I think I'm going to call it there. If you enjoyed the video and you got this far, thank you so, so much. I appreciate every single one of you. I would really appreciate if you smash the subscribe button. If you like the video and you want to share them, that would mean the world to me. And as I say, I put the video for the miner's lamp in the description for you. And if you want to know what the Lorna Baily's worth, check out their website, antiquesarena.com. Bye for now, and I'll see you soon.